2024 was a year of quite a bit of trademark news and developments. So we're here with our annual tradition that we've been doing for more than a decade, the top trademark trends of 2024. Filings at the USPTO increased in 2024 about 8% or so. However, if you remove the filings that have come in from China, which increased quite a bit, then the filings have been overall fairly flat. How did this affect pendency at the USPTO? Well, the USPTO has really invested a lot of resources and energy and efforts into working on the application pendency, and it has pleasantly come down in 2024 to where at the end of the year, as we record this, new applications are generally getting in front of an examiner after about 6 months following their filing date. But overall pendency for all the other types of submissions to the USPTO still has quite a few lags on renewal filings or evidence of use filings or office action response filings or petitions to the director. They're still generally above targets. A huge development in 2024 was actually the release at the end of 2023 of the new USPTO search system. The old system was retired, and now we have trademark search, and people have adapted to it because they had no choice. It has some amazing tools. You can look at some of my other content and videos about it. It has some limitations, particularly if you don't know all the robust intricacies of how to use it effectively. So I would caution people to be careful with it, but also that if you invest time in learning of the details, it has a lot of amazing uses and tools. Scams, a big story, unfortunately, pretty much every year when we do this recap. And scams in 2024, no different. Scams actually on the rise because they are now coming in even more forms and at applicants and attorneys in even more directions. So letters, phone calls, emails, false sense of urgency. The latest scams this year have involved actually hijacking the credentials from attorneys to submit false filings. There's a lot of terrible news, unfortunately, related to scams. So be vigilant, be on alert. Again, we have lots of other content for more details about that. Possibly related to scams, USPTO confirmed earlier this year about another leak of data that was supposed to be hidden and private in a data breach. Big story pop culture wise this year that related to trademarks was influencers. We saw the huge explosions of many influencer things that I have no idea about, but my kids tell me about. But even I heard about Haktua and heard about very demure, very mindful. Those trends went so viral that others filed trademark applications. What I mean by others is not the originators of those phrases and those viral videos. And so that has led to presumably some disputes or future disputes. And in fact, for Haktua, believe it or not, there are more than 30 trademark applications featuring that phrase pending at the USPTO. Now, good news is the creator of that phrase has filed several of those applications. And the lesson here for influencers and content creators is that it's very hard to protect and enforce something that goes viral and sort of moves beyond your control. But it is important, if you want to try to monetize it and control it as much as possible, to think about the IP and trademark protection as early as possible, like instantly if possible. The Supreme Court decided a trademark case. It doesn't have a huge impact on the vast majority of trademark owners and filers, but it related to an application from Steve Elster seeking to register Trump Too Small. The USPTO had refused it because the Lanham Act prohibits registration of a trademark that consists of or comprises of a name identifying a particular living individual unless you have their consent. Elster challenged this on First Amendment grounds and was denied by the USPTO, by the Trademark Trial and Appeal Board, by the Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit, and ultimately by the Supreme Court. who held that the tradition and purpose of trademark law is to protect an individual's rights to ownership over his own name or hers, and ensures that the First Amendment is not violated. Looking ahead to 2025, a few things I want to mention. Biggest news is going to be the new USPTO trademark application forms and fee changes and increase that go with it. Those take effect on January 18th. Look to our channels across social media and on YouTube for lots more details about that in the coming weeks. And also artificial intelligence. We've talked about that quite a bit over the last year or two. AI changes are really starting to take hold and impact trademark practice. And in fact, at a recent meeting of the USPTO that I attended online, they talked about how the USPTO is investing resources in looking at AI tools that could affect its work and help make it more efficient or better at doing certain things in reviewing trademark applications. So that's your top trademark trends for 2024. If you think I left out something, please leave a comment or send me a message. I'd love to hear what you think are the top trademark trends of 2024. And stay tuned for the next amazing video that's going to dive even deeper into some of these topics.